Good morning. Good to see you. Thank you for joining me, us. Debuting the doubting self. Ugh. This must surely be my topic. So, this is our month of divine doubt. And, I just begin to think that home offices run out of the rather odd topics when, oh, a new one appears. Divine doubt. I wonder who came up with that one. As usual, we can take a closer look at it. That's what we're going to do. That's what we're here to do. And we find when we do that, that it does have a great deal of meaning and substance for us. hmm Go figure. I guess someone really does know what they're doing when they come up with these Sunday topics. I'll try to be more trusting in future. Oh, and less doubting for sure. Reverend Alice got us off to a great start this month with a message about for us last week. She spoke to the idea of self-doubt as the starting block. As all things in our individual worlds begin and end with us, it was a good place to start. I took quite a few notes. I'm willing to bet that most of us had somewhat of the same reaction that she did at first to her idea, her topic, and the idea of doubt. After all, as students of religious science, doubt is not something we spend a lot of time on or give a lot of thought to. Being a science of mind is basically founded on affirmative thought and prayer, why would we? Well, as the month's topic, it appears it is worthy of our attention. I know you've all heard this plenty of times, but it is extremely important for us to accept our humanness along with our spirituality. And who do you think I'm talking to here? Of course, yes, it's me. We've come to this earth as humans with human qualities and for good reason. This is our charge to accept that, embrace it, and learn to bring out both of our humanness and our spirituality, to meld it together and function from that spot. Our humanity is really as important to us as our spiritual nature. I think we have a tendency to not believe that. There's something wrong with being human, There's nothing wrong with being human. It's the way we were made. It's on purpose. Each of these aspects of ourselves should be treated with respect and reverence. Yes, reverence for our humanity. It's through our humanness that we access our spiritual selves. What other way is there for us to do that? No use trying to deny that truth. Reverend Alice last week said, what we reject cuts us off from growth, expansion, and authenticity. Trying to ignore any aspect of our human nature merely throws up a roadblock to our good. Pretending you never get angry or discouraged or feel sad is counterproductive to any forward movement on your part. Reverend Alice also said, in reality, it's only when we acknowledge our doubts that we are able to move beyond them. Instead of trying to deny our doubts or bury them, let them be a doorway to better understanding of yourself. Well, that's great advice, isn't it? Trying to stuff doubts down and ignore them only cuts us off from opportunity. This shuts us down to ourselves and to others. It puts distance between us when we think that we have anything to hide. Yeah, that's really true. You may be able to hide from others, but indeed, you cannot hide from yourself. Either way, does this honor our humanness? No. Does it make your soul smile? I doubt it. Not honoring your humanness has your spiritual self cringing and shrinking back. That's what I think anyway. We sometimes let doubt hang over us like a big black cloud. I don't know, you guys probably don't do that, but I definitely do. It robs us of our aspirations and it dampens our enthusiasm for pursuing our good. Yeah. It can do this because we let it. We let ourselves believe it. The stories we tell ourselves about doubt. Don't let them fool you. Some may say that despite our humanness, we somehow manage to connect with the spiritual aspects of ourselves. This may be so to a degree, but how much more fully do we become because of sharing our humanness, because of bonding through it? Accepting and reveling in the human traits we've been given opens us up to wholeheartedly embracing ourselves and others, and allows them to feel like they can do that too. It liberates us from the confines we, in our ignorance and fear, have relegated ourselves to. You deserve so much more than that. We all do. Your godness cries out to be released and given free rein, that it may prove itself to you and through you. It appears that this topic is in fact aimed at showing us how our human nature is our biggest asset in revealing our spiritual nature. Having the willingness to take a closer look at ourselves and how we fit into the world is not for the faint of heart. It often takes a concerted effort on our part. Exploring all aspects of life and self can only improve us and our experiences. These ideas help us reawaken to new perspectives on old beliefs. These things bring us ever closer to our divine selves and the relationship of our one, or the realization of our oneness. If a deeper, richer sense of self and the lives we live is our goal, then growth and authenticity is definitely where it's at. Debuting the doubting soul is a proclamation of our freedom. It takes a bold spirit to remove your mask and let yourself be seen as is. And now that's an interesting phrase, as is. What does that bring to your mind when you hear it? I think of something that maybe is just a bit less than perfect, not quite so new looking, maybe missing a part or two. Does this apply to us Homo sapiens? Yeah, could be. When we think of presenting ourselves to others as is, do we think that makes us sound less than, not quite as acceptable as we should be? How acceptable should we be? That's a good question. Well, I think that's the whole point here. As we are is just fine. It's perfect, in fact. To think otherwise is, as my grandmother might have said, basically hogwash. Really, how can we be anything less than perfect? We are God in form. We are the emissaries of spirit, the way by which spirit functions in this realm, this world. Yeah. If we are to move beyond boundaries, tossing fear aside, and allowing ourselves to be revealed as is, we might as well do so with flair, yeah, and aplomb. Headline your doubting self like the star that you are. Put yourself in neon lights, say, hey, this is who I am and this is what I think. These are my doubts. I'm going to put them on you. Putting them on you actually helps relieve me. Did you know that? How about that? Oh, wow, that's a good idea. Okay, where was I? Tossing fear aside, allowing ourselves to be revealed as is, we might as well do so with flair and aplomb. I said that already, but it bears repeating. Headline your doubting self like the star you are. Others cannot help but appreciate your candid approach and may well follow suit. And they may think that who they are isn't so bad, too. That's exactly why these types of topics keep coming our way. And I'm guessing that it's not going to stop anytime soon. So get ready, buckle up. The topics are given to us to help us move beyond our old ways of thinking and being. They're meant to stir us up, sweep the cobwebs out of our minds, and have us thinking in different ways, deeper ways, more productive ways. that unite us while at the same time bringing us back to ourselves, our authentic selves, our unabashedly human and spiritual selves. Reverend Alice told us last week that life provides opportunities for us to truly go deeper and explore truth from a higher perspective. The deeper we go, the greater value we receive. Oh, that's getting me where I live, and I didn't even know that was coming. What a nifty idea, huh? There are rewards to be had, ladies and gentlemen. Where are the gentlemen today? Oh, as we become more aware of our spirituality, we actually become more human, in tune with our true selves, in turn, which allows us to be more spiritual. Wow. I've gotten this far without reading you the market teaser from home office. How did that happen? Here it comes, folks. Get ready. This is what it says. What would happen if I debuted my doubting self the way I share my confident self? How might my life and relationships change? As we dive deeper into divine doubt, this week we will consider the ramifications of sharing our personal doubts together and creating communities that hold space for these questioning moments. End of quote. So, what would happen if I debuted my doubting self the way I share my confident self? Good question. I think it probably would be very beneficial to myself and others. How would that feel to you if you threw doubt and caution to the winds and just let it all hang out? It might be a little bit scary to think about. Are we so concerned with how others might judge us that we forego being totally honest with them? And who's the real judge here? I must think it's only ourselves. When you can move beyond judging yourself for being human, you are on your way home for sure, back to the authentic self you were born to be. Reverend Terry Cole Whitaker wrote the book many years ago entitled, What You Think of Me Is None of My Business. I'm inclined to believe that. It's what I think of myself that truly matters to me. It's what I act out of. My self-perception is the place that matters most. What I believe about myself becomes my reality. This points to the importance of self-acceptance and self-care. Knowing your value and worth goes a long way towards having the confidence to allow for your own humanness. We all want to be perfect and be thought that by others. And guess what? Other folks, they know how human we are. Isn't that true? We just pretend we're not. To openly share your doubts and fears with others, the last part of the market teaser gave me pause for thought. It talks about sharing our personal doubts together and creating communities that hold space for these questions, for the questioning moments that we all more or less have. What a nice atmosphere that would be to create. Who knows what might transpire when judgments can be suspended and we come together to air our doubts or concerns, anything that we might have as a community. Rather like a think tank, where everyone has a voice and positive input and insights are welcomed and appreciated. This helps make a safe place for all to share and possibly gain new perspectives and understanding and new ways of dealing with doubts and issues. This thought about the sacred role of doubt was included in the outline for my topic. It says, as we explored in depth last week, doubt is not a flaw to be hidden away, but a natural part of the range of human thought and emotion. Each of us in our own ways wrestles with questions, uncertainty, and the longing to understand. Rather than covering up our doubts with a polished facade of certainty, we are invited to lean into it, as places of vulnerability, honesty, and authenticity. In spiritual community, doubt, when shared and explored together, becomes a doorway to deeper faith. When we allow space for our questions and acknowledge the tender edges of what we don't yet know, we create an environment of trust in ourselves, in one another, and in the unfolding mystery of spirit. And that's the end of that. This reminds me that the questioning mind is open to look beyond what we think we already know. It is courageous in its ability to look unflinchingly to the unknown, to answers as yet undisclosed. This is how we make progress, both individually and collectively. It's those minds among us that pave the way for innovation and new discoveries. Doubting can be a part of that process, an important part of that process. Discussing our doubts and finding ways to confirm or repudiate their validity moves us along new avenues of understanding. It leads us to answers of questions that we may not even have thought of yet. Opportunity, huh? Employing these techniques, remaining open at the top, provides us with opportunities for revealing the ever good and the greater good available to us at all times. It's so nice to know that that good just really does live within us. And it's just a matter of touching base with it and letting it be. We often have a tendency to build fences to protect ourselves. When we take a closer look, what is it we think we're protecting ourselves from? If God is all, in all, as all, any protection we might ever think we need is already with us. No need to wall ourselves off from God, is there? Overcoming our doubts, bringing them out to see the light of day, requires that we leave off with our hesitation to let others see us as we are. Forging a path forward, regardless of any fears we may have, leads us to a greater sense of self and a greater self-fulfillment. I'd like to share with you a short story about a young man who most certainly has reason to doubt, or had reason to doubt and fear what his life would be like. The story comes from Home Office in an overview to this month's theme on doubt. The young man's name is Nick Vucek. This is his story. Nick is an extraordinary individual who has inspired millions worldwide with his remarkable story of perseverance and determination. Born without arms and legs, Nick faced enormous challenges from a very young age. Growing up, he experienced intense bullying and discrimination, which left him feeling isolated and hopeless. Despite his obstacles, Nick refused to give up on his dreams. With the help of his supportive family and a deep faith in God, he worked tirelessly to overcome his physical limitations and achieve his goals. He really just wanted to do the things that everyone else was doing, especially as a child. He learned to swim, to surf, and even play golf using only his feet. He actually says he loves being in the water. That's where he feels the most free. Today, Nick is a highly sought-after motivational speaker, spreading his message of hope and resilience to audiences all over the world. He has written a best-selling book, Life Without Limits, and has been featured in numerous documentaries and TV shows. Nick has led a full and accomplished life despite his physical and mental challenges. One might even say because of them. He most surely had doubts about about this along the way, but he refused to let them interfere with his dreams. He says he never thought he'd fulfill his dream of marriage and children, and yet he met and married the love of his life, who feels exactly the same way about him. Together they have 3 children. Pretty amazing, huh? I'd say Nick's story is pretty persuasive testimony to the ability of us humans to defy doubt and claim the good that is rightfully ours. Every time he steps out the door among others, he is a walking example of doubt in form, actually, literally. While Nick has no legs, he does have the vestige of feet, though they are not fully developed. He can move of his own volition, albeit it's more like a shuffle than a walk. Anyway, can't you just imagine what people think when they see him? Most likely they doubt that he can do much of anything for himself. Guess what? They'd be very wrong. It's not true at all. He does most things for himself. As this story goes, he surfs, he golfs, he rides a Mead skateboard for sure. He's gone on to be a motivational speaker, traveling the world to share his message of hope and inspiration. What a remarkable individual, and a testament to the indomitable human spirit. We can all take a page from his book, from the story of his life. The author of today's topic says, doubt, then, is not the enemy of faith, but its nourishment. It's nourishment. It calls us into active engagement, deep listening, and a willingness to participate fully, rather than passively accept what is handed down. If doubt is nourishment to our faith, let's all cultivate those seeds, that we might reap the generous rewards therein. And I just have to say, go do it, folks. Go for it. And so it is. So let's take just a few more moments to revel in our spiritual selves, to recognize the essence of God as all things. Easily and effortlessly, we find ourselves willing to reveal ourselves, to take off the mask, the facade that we might be hiding behind, and allow others to truly know us. Each of us has the ability to do that, to go, to do, to be, to fulfill their highest dreams, because we are our good. We bring it with us wherever we go. And so sharing and community takes on a whole new different meaning to us. We create those spaces that are safe for us to reveal our doubts and our concerns, to listen to others and to hear what they have to say. The perfect presence is ever with us and guides us always in all things. And so I trust completely that the activity of God shares itself unstintedly as we move forward in our days, diving deeper, rising higher, realizing our blessedness, and accepting our humanity for what it is, a divine gift. And so I just say thank you. Thank you, God. And so it is.